Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, the first major streaming service of 2024 has been sold, as we expect many streaming services to either be sold or shut down in 2024. CNN is planning a new subscription streaming service for phones. We talked a little bit about this last week, got some more details, we'll talk about that. And the Sling DVR that we broke the news about last week has now been officially announced for its free ad-supported streaming service, FreeStream. First time you'll be able to DVR a live feed of a service for free with FreeStream. All right, let's dive into this. But first, if you want to find a link to every story I'm about to talk about, check out the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link there so you can read them for yourself. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. It really does help us, and hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of television. All right, now we've talked for a while that in 2024, we expect to see multiple streaming services shut down or be sold in the year to come. Now the first one has happened with Sinclair selling its free streaming service Stir to a company called Thinking Media. Now Stir is a free ad-supported streaming service. It was really big when it launched back in 2019, if I remember correctly. A few things that made it stand out: it had Sinclair-owned local television, so it had local news when that wasn't quite as widespread as it is now. Also, it had live feeds of Sinclair-owned smaller channels. And some of these channels, to this day, that was the only place to watch them, though now that a lot of these channels are available on other services. Well, many readers noticed on Monday that the service was gutted. All the local news was gone, most of the channels were gone, and most of the on-demand content was gone. Very quickly, we spotted in the terms of service and in the privacy notice that a new company was listed as owners. We have since independently confirmed that the Thinking Media is the new owners of Stir. Details are still thin on what they're going to do about it. Public announcements have not been made, and at this time, Sinclair and Thinking Media have declined to comment at this moment that I'm recording this. But we have confirmed, though, it's been sold from independent sources that have confirmed it to Cord Cutters News, people with knowledge of what's happening. What's happening here? Well, ad propping markets, I've talked about this so many times, are very soft, and if you're an ad-supported streaming service, that's very difficult. I'm sure Sinclair is refocusing their efforts. There's a lot of competition in ad-supported streaming out there. Pluto, Tubi, the Roku channel, Freevee are some of the big ones, but there's probably 100 other smaller channels. Fawsome, FilmRise are huge also. I don't think they get the, they don't maybe have the name recognition, but they're absolutely massive. Stir kind of fell by the wayside a little bit, and I think they've decided to cut their losses and move on from it. We'll keep a close eye on this, but look for 2024 to be full of sales and mergers and shutdowns of streaming services as companies try to become profitable, merging these services together. All right, next up, last week we talked about how CNN wanted to put some of its content behind paywall. Well, we got some new detail. According to a story from the Wall Street Journal, CNN is looking to launch a subscription video service for phones that they think will offer content people will be willing to pay for on their phone. To have video content is what this will focus on. Exact pricing details, launch date has not been announced, but the Wall Street Journal has obtained an internal memo and sources that have told them that they are in the process of working to build a subscription service. Now this comes about a year after the failure of CNN Plus. Very different model there. That was a complete streaming service like a Netflix. Fox Nation is probably the most closely related to that. Now instead, this seems to be a way to get high quality videos for your phone. Problem with that, I struggle because people are used to news free on YouTube. People go and they are used to short clips of news free. They may be willing to pay for long formats, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and other similar long form news programs, but they're going to pay for short form phone created news. Leave me a comment, let me know. I'm guessing the answer is no. People have been trained that short videos go on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and similar places, and they're free. So let me know what you think. Would you pay for CNN? Yes or no? Sling TV free stream. Now we reported last week that they were rolling out a DVR. It's 10 free hours to stream their free collection of live channels, which includes over 450, if I remember correctly. Yes, 430, excuse me, live channels. One of the big complaints about free streaming services are that they're amazing, but you have to be there when it's on. Oh, hey, a big name movie is going to stream tonight at 8 p.m. Well, if you're not there at 8 p.m., you can't watch it. Maybe it's on the on-demand, maybe it's not. Now Sling TV has announced that you get 10 hours of free DVR if you create a free account for Sling TV. This is rolling out, and it helps them make Sling Free Stream the only service, to my knowledge, that offers a free DVR on its 100% free ad-supported service. Now, you can subscribe to a paid service out there to be addition on this, but for now, Sling TV Free Stream is the only one with an ad-supported DVR. Mr. Beast, in our next story, tested out X's, which is formerly Twitter, new video service. Elon Musk wants to use X to take on YouTube and Twitch and other places with live streams and videos. And Mr. Beast, wildly popular, one of the most watched creators in all types of content right now, posted one video to test it out. And in that video, he made over $250,000 on a single video. That's pretty impressive. I wish I did that. But he's put a caveat on that. He said advertisers kind of realized what he was doing, and he believes that they rushed to advertise on his video on X, and that may have artificially driven up. But for creators, that is a pretty nice way to know that they're able to generate revenue from their videos by having people watch their videos on X. We'll keep a close eye on this. A lot of people for a long time have looked for a way to compete with or have another option for Twitch and other services. Could X be that? I think one of the biggest things X will struggle with, YouTube is extremely good at content discovery, finding new creators, following your creators. I'm not sure X right now is on that same level. But if you already follow a creator, this could be a great way to have another option to watch their stuff, at least on mobile. At the moment, Twitter used to have mobile or apps for like Roku, Fire TV, and others to stream their videos. I don't think any of those are still on any of the ones. I know they're not on Roku and a few others. All right, anybody a fan of The Wizard of Oz? Well, there's a new remake in the works from the creator of Blackish and You People. And the plot says it isn't set in Kansas anymore. Instead, it's going to be set in California. The new Wizard of Oz movie does not have a release date, as best I know. But once again, another movie coming out. So question of the day. If you could remake any movie you would want to make, what would it be? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right. T-Mobile 5G home internet is setting a data limit, data cap, whatever you want to call this, of 1.2 gigabytes, or terabytes, excuse me, before you could face a potential slowdown. Now, T-Mobile has always said you could face a potential slowdown depending on network. Now they've set a limit of 1.2 before that network slowdown could happen. After 1.2 terabytes of data being used, they reserve the right to slow you down if the network is congested. And at the end of each month, that will reset and you'll get uncapped data again until you hit 1.2 terabytes of data. Very similar to what Comcast and others do, but without the additional fees. There's going to be a lot of arguments. Is this a data cap? Is this a data limit? I think as T-Mobile will try to describe it. I think that doesn't really matter. The point here is if you use 1.2 terabytes of data, after that point, you're going to see your internet slow down. But before that, you'll get uncapped data. Most people, even with streaming, won't have a problem with this. I do think there will be people out there who will run into problems. One of the sound points of T-Mobile was the fact it was uncapped, but they've always told you that heavy users were subject to data slowdowns when the network is congested. I think most people won't even notice any changes with this. Speaking of T-Mobile, in the next story, they're going to be launching new experience stores. These new stores will have staff on hand who will be able to do everything you could do on the phone. Customer service, repair, business help, give you credits, cancel lines, all kinds of stuff. You could walk in a T-Mobile store and cancel it. These experience stores will reportedly be available in every market out there, but there will only be a few. There will still be standard stores where you can go buy something, but unlike the standard store where you can buy something, activate a new plan, this will have highly trained agents in the stores, which will be able to help you cancel plans, address billing issues, and other things that come up. If you're somebody who doesn't like to get on the phone or use a chat system, you want to get an in-person experience, T-Mobile says they want to be the place for that. That could really help them stand out. There's a lot of discount phone companies out there. Most of them don't offer in-person support. T-Mobile could stand out in this. Some of them don't even offer phone support basically for most things. They keep trying to push you over to the chat bots or the chat support with it. Though I think they all pretty much have phone support, just how hard is it to get there. So keep an eye on this. Reportedly, this will be announced in the next coming weeks, according to T-Mobile employees talking online, that they'll be announcing these new improved T-Mobile stores coming soon. All right, Redbox is being sued for $3 million in unpaid fees. Redbox has reportedly been suffering money troubles, and the for its parent company, Chicken Soup for the Soul. Now, they're being sued by PJT Partners, who helped them purchase Redbox. Part of the deal was they were going to get paid a percentage of the sale. Redbox was owing them a few million, and they haven't sent a payment since last April, and there's still $3 million of outstanding money, according to a report, $3.4 million, according to a report from Bloomberg. Here, now they're being sued. It'd be interesting to see what happens. Chicken Soup for the Soul is reportedly exploring potential sale options, either of all or part of the company. But there definitely seems to be some money issue here for Redbox, Crackle, Chicken Soup for the Soul, and other products they offer. Huge news in our next story for WWE fans. WWE Monday Night Raw will be moving to Netflix. Netflix is getting into sports. They've been testing the waters a little bit recently, and now they've struck a major deal that Monday Night Raw will move exclusively to streaming in 2025 in January, and Netflix will be the new home of the weekly show. A lot of people here will try to write this off as not a big deal. WWE is widely popular and very watched. There's major sports out there that do not have the viewership numbers of WWE. You've seen recently the Netflix Slam and the Netflix Cup do pretty well with their live streaming, and now Netflix is getting into it. We'll keep a very close eye on this, but I would expect Netflix to become an increasingly bigger player in this kind of content as it looks for ways to differentiate itself out there and attract more viewers. And lastly, before we get into the question of the day, Verizon lost 62,000 customers for TV services, but added 231,000 5G home internet customers as 5G continues to be a big problem for Comcast Spectrum as its cord-cutting 2.0 continues to grow. Keep a close eye on this. It's very interesting to see how this all plays out. But Verizon is now pushing its customers to YouTube TV for TV. For internet, though, its Fios added customers, but just a handful compared to its 5G. Increasingly, 5G home internet is kind of, for a lot of people, becoming its go-to. We'll see how this market grows. We'll see how it expands. But both T-Mobile and Verizon have seen very large growths in a time when Spectrum reports it expects to, during the same period as this, lose internet subscribers and not add any. Let me know, have you switched to 5G home internet? I'd love to hear from you. All right, question of the day. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment down below, starting it off with something like a question for Luke. And I'll do my best to answer them here in these videos. Quick question I often get, is cord cutting still worth it? And I would say yes. So, yes, cord cutting has become more expensive, but at the same time, so has cable. If you think about it, as they keep both becoming more expensive, the savings between the two is still very similar. We're still seeing a lot of ability for you to save. It really depends on what you want to watch. Are sports a need for you? Well, then you're going to have to get some of the more expensive services like YouTube TV. If you're somebody who doesn't care about sports, you can go on demand only and just keep a handful of services. I always talk about rotate your services, right? If there's a maybe new Star Trek show on Paramount Plus, get Paramount Plus for a month and then cancel it. There's no reason to keep these 24/7. So I would encourage you to shop around, look at your options. But yes, I firmly believe cord cutting is more expensive. We just saw twice in the last year, DirecTV and Spectrum raise the price of their TV service. Comcast just raised the price of its service after it also raised the price of its service last year. Comcast customers, depending on what services you have, could be paying as much as $20 more a month for television. We'll see how that's impacting later this week. They have their earnings. We'll see what their TV and internet subscriber numbers look like. But don't let all the negativity out there. Yes, it's a little bit more complicated now, but the savings are still there. And when it always comes down to, even if you would go back to cable television, most of the programs you want to watch are not on cable television. All the new Star Trek shows, Star Wars shows, even some NFL games are now exclusive to streaming services where you can't get it with cable TV. So going back to cable TV is probably not going to let you cancel everything and still watch all your shows like it may have done 10 years ago. Now, if you want to watch shows, some of them are exclusive to streaming. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll be back again tomorrow. Take care, everybody.